Have you seen Stranger Things? What about, I don't know, It, but the original It, not the new one that came out, even though that one's pretty good too. Well, that's pretty much Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There's pretty much the same concept about a group of kids dealing with the paranormal and a bunch of weird stuff happening. But me saying this makes it seem as if I don't like it, but it was actually really entertaining. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a new movie from Andre Ovedal. I don't know, can't pronounce his last name right. But I do know him from the movie Troll Hunter, which was a really good film a couple of years back, where it's like a found footage film about them hunting trolls, and it was very creepy and very weird looking, and it really fit well with this new film. And it also, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is also produced by Guillermo del Toro, which you could already tell from the creature designs and the way it looked. He did add stuff to the story. Hey, this movie was really good. I enjoyed it. I really wasn't expecting too much coming into it because I didn't watch too many of the trailers. I didn't really understand what was going on before I watched the movie. Yeah, maybe I should have done some research on that, but lately it's kind of interesting for me to see movies with a fresh new face, like a fresh new mindset, and like not understanding what's going to happen. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun, scary film. I was expecting it to be like way more horror filled, but it reminded me of that Halloween movie Trick or Treat, where it's kind of partially an anthology story, but it's not. Now, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is obviously based on the children's novel that I used to read when I was a kid. I haven't touched this book since I was like a little kid, but I do remember part of the story. Like some of the stuff they show in the trailers and they mention behind the scenes. I thought it was really awesome the way they presented it in this film. Before watching this movie, I thought, how can you adapt this into a film, considering the fact that it's just partial stories and there's not really one connective narrative to it. But the way they do it in this film is that there is a narrative, and that each story is the story's writing itself to the reader. And it was a very interesting concept. And right now I'm just going to go into spoilers, so I'll put like a little barcode here. Because I really like how they changed up the idea of it not being an anthology story. Normally I like that in certain films, but it gets a little jarring and it feels like you're watching a bunch of multiple mini movies rather than one main film. So yeah, the film, you follow the main character Stella. Her and her friends go to a haunted house. They find the book, which is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And upon reading it, I guess it's haunted, and they each of the friends are in the story of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And I thought that was a very interesting concept. It kind of made it seem a lot more fun if you were to get that idea and make it more into like horror films. Like if you were to watch Halloween, or if you were to watch whatever, and then your life becomes the story of Halloween or Alien or whatever, that would be kind of interesting. But I did like how they adapted it here. You're seeing all the stories from the books, but you're actually finally getting a narrative to the character, and you're getting names and stuff, and it actually adds into the story. The only problem I had with the film was that it drags on a little bit. They show too much of the lore about why this is going on, and that's fine. You could take your time in doing that. After a while, I just wanted to be scared and see all the horrific creature designs that I heard of online and stuff that I've seen on trailers and commercials. And then the only other problem I had with it was that I felt like it came out too soon. Obviously, I wanted to see them, like, you know, for fans of the book, you want to see it now, but my whole thing is, the movie is set on Halloween. It had this really cool fall feeling. It's like the middle of August. It's hot. I would have loved if this film had came out during September, maybe the beginning of October, because this is a fun film to watch with your friends and maybe family if they're into horror films or whatever. But it's a fun film to watch if you just want to get a really good scare. But other than that, that was just a little nitpick. It doesn't really affect the movie. Like I said, the film was really good. I really enjoyed the practical effects. Like I said, the creatures that they showed, like the Thin Woman and everything, that creeped me out. That actually, even thinking about it, kind of like hurt. Like kind of, yeah. It was too crazy to even see. But I don't know. All I can say is I really enjoyed this film. It was very creepy. It was very out there. There was a lot of like interesting visuals, a lot of good creepy scares. I did like how they kind of tied into like a possible sequel, and there's more Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and another one. So I like that idea that they're gonna make this into like a possible series. This movie's great. I had a lot of fun with it. It's creepy. It was a fun film to watch with my friends. I highly recommend it. I mainly highly recommend it when it comes out during October. Watch it during Halloween. This is like a fun film to watch. There hasn't really been that many new Halloween movies that come out that's really like fun to watch during that type of season. Sure, we had Halloween last year and that was great, but that's already branded as Halloween, so you already know what you're gonna get yourself into. But this film, I would highly recommend it for Halloween. I recommend it if you just want to get a good scare. I think it's fun. The Stranger Things aesthetic to it is interesting, but the thing is, luckily, it's not in the 80s. It's in it's 1968, so it has obviously since it's in a different decade. You're familiar with all the stuff that they're referencing from other like movies in that style, but it reminds me more of the original It, which is great. You know, I think that was really great. So overall, I think this movie's good. I think you should all watch it. I give it like an 8 out of 10. It's a solid film. I had a fun time. It was great. But all right, thanks for you guys for watching this review. I'll try to bring out more soon. Since the summer's over, there's kind of a slump in films, so I'm gonna try to watch like a couple of like older films and see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and yeah, have a good day.